There we go. All right, what's up, you guys? It's your boy 3 Stacks in this thing, baby, representing Team Kings of Games. And today I'm coming at you guys with pure Unchained. The savagery is real with this deck. Honestly, it's way better than I thought it would be. Like, I played it in Muskets, and I really love Magical Musketeers too. But this is like another incredible deck that can go second or first. It's not one of those, oh, I have to go second, and you made me go first and I lose. Nah, it's like this deck has mad plays. The new support I got with the third twin, basically triplets now, the Samara, which I don't have any, so I'm proxying her. She's really broken. Like, setting from your graveyard, just popping your cards. Like, this deck thrives off of destroying its own cards, and once you get the setup, it just snowballs out of control. It's really explosive. Like, oh my goodness, pure Unchained is crazy, you guys. It's a really good going second deck, and like I said, it can go first. It can disrupt combos. It can interrupt plays. It's incredible against back row decks because Unchained Abomination is such an incredible card. And with their Unwelling, you get like 4 pops in one turn. Oh my goodness. Check the link in the description box below. Just click that little arrow in this video. You'll find that you can support my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. PayPal, Cash App, Patreon. Go to patreon.com/3stackz /3 stacks, but with the Z instead of an S, just one Z. And that's how you can also become a patron. I would greatly appreciate anybody that would support me. And also, anybody that supports me, that's like, you know what? I don't mind going out of my way for one person when they really do that. Because it's like, you went out of your way for me, so why would I not do that? I greatly appreciate that. But with that out the way, let's go ahead and get to this profile. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, I gotta tell you guys, I keep forgetting. I should have brought another shirt, but I did the last video. Team Kings of Games merchandise. We have Team Kings of Games t-shirts, mediums and largest, 25 a piece. Boom. Those, get them while I have them, you guys, honestly, because I have a limited amount, and the swap meet I went to go get the printing done and everything, like, that place is closed, so I can't even, redo it. So, the ones I have are the ones I'm gonna have for a while. Once they're gone, they're gone. So, let's go ahead and get to the profile, you guys. So we're going to start off with 3 copies of Arua. I'm just going to lay out all my twins. 3 copies of Rakia, and I don't have any of the Samara, but I play 3 of her. She's actually really incredible. Gave this deck an extra dimension to its grind game. It already had a decent grind game. It floats like Yang Zings, but better because they don't have to hit the grave. So even if they, for example, playing under, which is one of the cool hand traps in this deck, Dimensional Shifter, all your cards still float. But basically, if you guys didn't know what this deck does, Aruha, you can reveal it in your hand to destroy a card during your field, and then you have to target a card you control, and then you destroy it and you special this from your hand. Rakia can target a card you control and destroy it. And then Samara or Sara, however I pronounce it, it's not that serious how it's pronounced. It's Samara. You can basically target an Unchained card on your graveyard, set it to your field, then destroy a card you control. They all destroy cards. Notice the theme. It used to be called Akai before we changed it to Unchained. And all of them float also if they're destroyed by an effect or by battle, but they can't pop themselves and float. So you can't use him to pop another copy of him and float. It's except by their own effect, but it just works so beautifully. Like, even if you just normal him, reveal fire, special, pop him, effect, special summon her, and then use her effect, target him and grave, pop Aruha, set him from your field, from your grave to your field, and then Aruha will special summon the Unchained Abomination. You can use that, target a Jackal King, effect to link, Jackal King negate, destroy, effect to float back into this. Like, it's just so crazy how this deck thrives and goes off. Like, 2-card combos, 3-card combos. You can set up so many interruptions. You can just spam the board. Like, dude. And it gets better mid to late game when you start using Abomination. I'm sorry, not Abomination. I meant to say Disaster. You guys are probably gonna just slaughter me in the comments for that. But Unchained Soul Disaster is what I was meaning to say. But when you're using Disaster and it dies to bring back Abomination for your graveyard, it just gets so out of control. I played 3 copies of Abominable Soul. I understand that you really don't need to play 3, but I actually love opening this card. And yeah, you could say it's searchable, but you can only search one time. You only get to activate that card once. It's unfortunate, but yeah, Abomination's Prison, you can only activate it once. So, I'd rather open this combo piece and just search out, a back row that I need. I don't want to rely on searching it out. It's an incredibly powerful card. And also, you can't even make these links without an Unchained Soul. So, it's really important for you to get an Unchained Soul out. And if your opponent Ash Blossoms your floater and you can't special Disaster, this is your next best bet. In fact, it's your only bet to make any of your Unchained links because you can't use the twins to make them, unfortunately. and I played 2 Disaster. I hate drawing the card, but if you draw 1, you still have 1 left in your deck. It's just really important. This card, it allows you to link with your opponent's monster that it doesn't have to be special summon. That's the added benefit. These let you link with your opponent's special summon monsters, so there's a way to play around it if they just don't have special summon monsters, but this just doesn't care. He's just going to link with it. And if they actually negate and destroy it, it'll just float into any other Unchained besides itself, which is incredible when you have Abomination in your graveyard. Bring the Link 4 back. It's so good. So these are all the Unchained monsters. The only hand trap I play in this deck, I prefer to go second. I'm playing D-Shifter. It's an absolute incredible meta call. It just claps Shaddolls. It claps, like, dude, Salamangreats just get waxed by this card, honestly. They can't really even play. They can't load their grave and recur anything. Nothing happens for them. They just have to pass. Like, you're either going to pass or just, like, make a stinky board with the Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf with, like, a back row that you possibly drew. But you're not setting anything. You're not sending anything off Gazelle, and you're not resetting anything off Sunlight Wolf. And you can relink, but your Baylinks and your Sunlight Wolves are getting banished. This card's disgusting. And you can play under its restriction because your floaters don't have to go to the grave. You do lose some synergy with Samara, and you also lose, you know, targets in grave for Disaster. But think about how much more it hurts your opponent. So I really don't care about that drawback. Like, when you draw this, drop it like it's hot. So continuing with supplemental cards, we played 2 copies of Tour Guide and 1 Dark Banishment of Dark Spirit of Banishment. I wish I had its counterpart. It's like another pair of twins, basically. It's really cool how you have like cards that look very similar to each other and work together. But this card, I just like it at 1 because it's accessible through Tour Guide. I really don't want to draw it again because it just recurs itself in the grave in the first place. You can honestly Tour Guide for any of your other twins too, because you can still actually pop them. Like, you can Tour Guide out this, use Arua to pop it, vice versa. But again, I just like the 1. I honestly really wish I had the other version of it, but this negates attacks. Well, I'm sorry, it doesn't negate attacks. It actually changes the attack target to a level 8 that it summons from the graveyard, which is incredible because your level 8s do float. Soul recurs himself, but the Disaster will actually float to a different Unchained, which is incredible. So yeah, either you're going to kill it or just stop your attack. I play 3 copies of Archfiend Eccentric. 1's a proxy. This card, dude, like, it's so good you shouldn't not play it in Unchained. I can't believe nobody really plays this. Like, nobody plays this in Unchained. It's so good. It's better than Cyclone, Galaxy Cyclone. You know, it's better than Twin Twisters. It's better than MST. Archfiend Eccentric is just incredible, you guys. It's such a powerful card. Fiend, which is really cool. You know, it fits the theme, right? Fiends, level 3 Fiends. But the card on field, you can pop your monsters, so you can pop your Unchained monsters, or you can play it in skill to pop your Unchained back row, so you can start your combo up without even normal summoning. And you can also draw a handful of Unchained spells and traps with no monsters, and just use Eccentric to just get into your engine. So I would recommend, if you open like all Unchained spells and traps and no twins, you just use Eccentric to summon blue, use blue to target another back row, pop that, and then get Sara, and then use Sara to pop blue to set your back row, and then get out Aruha. And then before you know it, you got a full field and you open only Eccentric with back rows. It's crazy. And that's going to be it for the monsters. I don't really play a bunch of hand traps because I'm not really scared like that. I'd rather break the board systematically using skill, you know, proper technical play, than just bank on a bunch of neg 1s that can be called by the grave or played around anyways. I only like the Shifter in this deck simply because it's a turn ender, and Nibiru can be played around, but this is like a different kind of turn ender. It's really hard to play around this. Like, sure, you can call by the grave, that's fine, but like when you don't have a call by the grave, there's like really no way to play around this. You could play around Ash even if you don't have a call by. You can play around Nibiru, you know, even if you don't have an Oppo. Like, you can play around like almost every hand trap. This is one of those hand traps similar to Droll where it's just gonna end a turn if you don't have the call by. So that's like, it's justifiable, and my deck can play under it, so that's why I like it. But no hand traps. You really don't need hand traps. You can let your opponent play Solitaire and still break their board playing this deck. For spells, I play 3 copies of Prison. And this might be a little bit weird to you guys, but I actually like 3 copies of Welling. You do not have to play 3, and you also do not have to tell me that I shouldn't play 3. It's my deck. I like it how it is. I really like this. It's not just about me playing Desires in the list. It's that I really need to open an Unchained back row for this deck to thrive the way I want it to. If you don't open a singular Unchained back row, you lose so much explosive plays that you could have performed on your turn. You lose so much added value, so much more board presence that you really do need if you're trying to break through your opponent's resources, break through their interruptions, and end on something or OTK them. So I really like the card. If you draw two, beautiful. Activate one, set the other. I see no bad, there's no reason that I wouldn't play at least two, but I love three in this list. I played 3 copies of Pot of Desires. I'm either gonna +1 or bait an interruption or a hand trap, so the card's incredible. And everything that matters is at 3. 3 copies of Call by the Grave. Sometimes when you open a weaker hand, it could be Ash Pass when you go first, and you don't ever want to have somebody Ash you, and then you just have to pass turn. Ash is really the only hand trap that hurts his deck. DD Crow is okay, meh. Effect Veiler, meh. Imperm, meh. Nibiru, you don't even have to summon 5 times to break your opponent's board. So I just really like the Call by. 3 copies of Super Poly. Under the new Master Rule, it's a lot better because you don't have to clog your extra monster zone or anything. Obviously, you want to activate this first because when you resolve certain one as the twins, for the rest of the turn, not during the turn, but for the rest of the turn, you can only summon Fiends. So you want to Super Poly first and then a Ruha or Rakia. But it's justifiable, this format. I play so many targets that it's rarely ever dead. If it's dead, that means that I didn't even need it, that matchup, because it's a deck that wasn't going to put up a I can't play Yu-Gi-Oh board, so that's what I like about it. And going first, it's still a decent interruption. You could just set it and use it on them. So for the traps, 3 copies of Evenly Matched. I do like going second. If I go first, I'm just going to pop it, honestly, but it's a really incredible card because you don't need to actually OTK your opponent. You can put them in a position where not only have you cleared their entire field, but they're going to see this inevitable play that they can't really stop. You're going to eat their monsters alive. So I really like Evenly in this deck. Even if they negate it, I baited it. I played 3 Abominable. I find this card to be incredible. It's part of your grind game. You want to loop this with Samara, the triplets now basically. It's she's one of the twins, but really they might as well be triplets because there's 3 of them now. But yeah, you can just keep setting it off of her and then use it to just bring her back and then set it and just it's a crazy loop. It's kind of comparable to the Shaddolls with Incarnation, but not as impressive. But both effects are once per turn. But really, like I said, you want to open an Unchained back row. I played 2 Escape. Escape is not that incredible. It's a Raigeki, but it has incredible synergy with the Abominable Soul. Because what's cool is you can do stuff like use this to summon Abominable Soul, use Abominable Soul to pop a card, and then activate this, target Abominable Soul, pop another card, in phase Abominable comes back. It's just, there's so much synergy that the back rows have with the Unchained monsters. It's incredible. Even with Disaster, use this, target Disaster, pop your opponent's card, summon Abomination from the graveyard. In phase, Abomination, pop. It's crazy good. You just set up so many disruptive boards with this deck. It's nutty. Just with the continuous spell, link on your turn, pop. Effect of Abomination, target my own back row, pop. Effect, or even if you use, for example, one of your own, Abominable, right? You could pop your back row. Effect of Abomination, pop that. Effect, special summon the twins. It's so good. Once you get out Abomination, this deck it explodes. Because you'd literally use Abomination to pop your own twins, for example. Special summon an Unchained Disaster or Abominable from the deck. Pop your back row special from the deck. It's crazy. Unchained Abomination is a combo piece in this deck, and it synergizes with everything, including this, linking on your opponent's turn, popping their cards, effect of this pop, effect of Abomination pop, in phase, pop my own card to get more advantage. It's crazy. You normally want to set yourself up for a follow-up. You want to pop your back row and in phase during your opponent's turn with Abomination so that you can summon out Samara and use Samara to reset one of your cards on your turn so you can just keep playing. For the extra deck, I play 3 Soul of Rage. I know that you can easily recycle these cards, but this is a card I go into the most often. Sometimes you have to burn one just so that you can link climb into this right here because you have to use an Unchained Soul to make these. So playing 2 is kind of unfortunate when you do play 2 because in certain interactions you will link with one into this and then make Abomination and then summon another one so that you can link on your opponent's turn. Then you have no more left, and if you don't get to destroy any of them, then you just don't have any more in your extra deck. I know it can add back, but I really like the 3-2-1 ratio, which I'll show you. It's right here. I really prefer 3-2-1 instead of 2-2-1. This is my preference right here. You don't ever need more than one of this because not only can you recycle him back to your extra deck, but you can summon him from the graveyard off Disaster, and Disaster can be recurred off Samara and the Trap. So yeah, this is how you want to do it. And you can revive any of these from the grave off Disaster too. Disaster's just broken. Like, the ones that float from the deck are good, but honestly, this card's high-key busted, and it gets insanely high attack power, and floating from the grave is like probably one of the best floats after turn 1, because you get your links back, and that's really how you can just keep grinding your opponent out their resources. So these are all fiends. You can summon them under the restriction. Same with all the nightmares. That's Nightmare Unicorn, I just don't have one. And then Griffin, boom. You can summon all these on your turn under the restriction. You can co-link them with ease. You can even summon this bad boy first. Co-link your nightmares to him. You can end on a Griffin. You just have to open a decent amount of their back rows. Like 2 to 3, you're good to go. Now the rest of the extra deck super poly targets. Op Cologne to disrupt Shadow combos and negate cards. This is if I play against Invoke Dolls, Mechaba, Winda, I'll just super poly them away and then summon this, attack over Appaloosa, and then still have a negation. So it just clears an entire board by itself. When you play against Salads, so that you can actually use Super Poly against him, so it's not dead. I'm not scared of Salads because this deck can kill him without Super Poly, but just so I don't dead draw Super Poly. This is Mud Dragon of the Swamp, and then this is Starving Venom. Just certain cards that I just don't have for this deck. Let me see. 60 minutes in. Alright, I can show you guys a cool little combo for when you do go first, because going second, it's kind of different, you know, because you don't know what you're playing against. But when you're going first, I can show you guys like an optimal hand. Show you guys what you can do with the twins. Like, let's say you got like Tour Guide, you know. Plus Aruha. This is like a decent opening too. So let's say you're going first and you normal summon Tour Guide. Even if they ash it, your hand's gas, so you could play through the ash. This is another thing about this deck. You could play through hand traps like nothing. So you can normal Tour Guide, they imperm, alright, bet. Activate this, they ash, alright, bet. You know, if you have another Unchained back row, you play through imperm, ash, and then just like, for example, set Wailing, and then reveal Aruha, pop it, and you still pop off. So anyways, you'll normal the Tour Guide, use her effect, special blue. Then you're going to reveal Aruha, pop the blue. Summon itself, blue's effect is going to go ahead and special summon the Samara from the deck. You're going to activate Abomination's Prison. And what you're going to want to do is search either this or one of your traps. It totally depends. You could just search this, for example, because you're setting up a play to link on your opponent's turn. And then you use Samara. You're going to target the Rakia Engrave. Set it, because you can set even your own monsters, not just the spells and traps. And then blow up Aruha. And then Aruha's effect is going to special summon the Disaster or the Abominable Soul, whichever one you want, because they're both Unchained Souls. And then you're going to link the Tour Guide and whichever one of the Unchained Souls you summon to go into Unchained Soul of Rage. Then you're going to activate this right here, so that when you link on your opponent's turn, you'll eat up their monster and another card. And you have 2 floaters on field. So if you want to take it a step further, you can just literally, like if you had 1 extra extender, you could just link into Abomination turn 1. But this is still a really good board to end on, because you have disruptions to eat your opponent's cards. And if they try to kill your board, everything floats. So just really, it's going to be hard for them to run everything over. And honestly, what the prison searches is totally up to you. It didn't even have to be this. It could also, you could just search the Ragreki break if you need to, or you can search this. So that when you did actually link this off into the Rage, you can activate this on your opponent's turn to special summon him. Use the effect, discard a card, pop a card. Use this, link with them, you know, one of their monsters into the link 3 or Unicorn. It totally depends. But yeah, this deck's pretty nice. Obviously going second, you can do different things. There's so many other interactions I can explain. But, you know, I just wanted to show you guys that kind of like a standard bread and butter kind of play when you go first with this deck. Because it can go first or second, like I said. But that's the deck profile. Thank you guys so much for watching. God bless you guys. Make good choices. Don't hurt your brain cells. Stay tuned for future content. I'm going to say a quick little prayer. If you don't want to be around for it, just end the video. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Jesus. Thy kingdom come, and thy will be done on earth, just as it is in heaven. Please give us this day our daily bread, Lord. And please forgive us of our debts, as we forgive our debtors. and lead us not into temptation, Father, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the glory, and the power forever. In the mighty name of Jesus, I pray. Thank you, Yahweh. Amen. All right, you guys. Peace out, yo.